Yeah, there's not much of an argument right now that Kenpachi is not one of the war potentials. It's Baja Iris Rico. Bleach chapter 667. Now, this chapter starts off with Kenpachi basically stealing the spotlight from Toshiro and Byakuya while fighting the Miracle. It starts off with the Miracle regrowing his arm and then basically explaining that, like, hey, yeah, his power is that he'll lose limbs and body parts and stuff, but it'll just come back stronger. And you see a little bit of witty banter between Toshiro and Byakuya some more. Byakuya making fun of like Toshiro's obsession with his height. But yeah, this chapter really is about Kenpachi. Somewhat shallow story-wise, but has some good action. So Kenpachi basically comes in, right? And Miracle's like, okay, stop it. Stomps on them. And then Kenpachi literally just holds up the foot and just tosses him back and makes the Miracle fall over. Which, at this point, like, you can't argue that Kenpachi is not one of the strongest characters in Bleach. That he's definitely, you know, within that top 10 area easily, and probably the strongest of the main captains. But yeah, the chapter keeps on going, right? And you see Kenpachi fighting him and stuff. He tries to go for an attack on the shield, but Miracle just bashes him off like nothing. And this is where you kind of see where Kenpachi is not as crazy and just psycho solely as he is. And even though he was kind of going crazy, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to like toss him up. I'm going to slice him up in pieces. And Toshiro tries to stop him. And Toshiro's like, hey, no, you have to think about this a little more. You see that Kenpachi's like, at least like, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to use my Shikai at least. So he just pops into the Shikai like it's nothing now. You know, it's just like a normal ability for him now. And he goes out and then he goes and attacks the sword. And from there, basically, they're just fighting swords right there. And then it cracks. And Kenpachi's like, yeah, you know, but then the Miracle's like, hey, you just cracked my holy sword or whatever it was called. And basically the chapter kind of just ends there. And you know that is going to be another crazy ability that he has. Like, you know, the Bleach fights have been kind of like, well, the Bleach fights always have been pretty much the same formula. You know, it looks like OP, a villain, fights another hero who comes in who looks OP, and then they fight, and then it looks like the hero's about to win, but no, there's a final form, and then it comes back and everything. So yeah, you kind of know the direction the fight's gonna go. You know, the sword being cracked is gonna show that there's some other superpower, and but this fight does have potential to get really interesting. I really hope it's not just Kenpachi like fighting alone. I hope that Toshiro and Byakuya hop in and they all kind of creatively use their powers, because I think they've been slightly underutilized recently, at least, and especially in a lot of these Stern Ritter fights. And Kenpachi's last fight with the Stern Ritter, Grimgar or whatever his name was pretty lame several chapters ago. So, well, it was alright, but you know, I'm just hoping that they do something creative. But this chapter, solid chapter, saw some decent fighting. You know, a few power-ups, and just has some potential if, you know, Kubo writes it right. But overall, probably going to give this chapter more like a 6.57, you know, pretty good chapter, and looking forward to more. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe for more Bleach reviews and other manga and anime reviews and stuff, and keep tuned. Thanks!